Nothing that's worse for parenting than parents of young children being using drugs. Whether the drug is alcohol, or cannabis, or or meth or heroin, it is terrible for parenting. I mean, it leads to abuse, neglect. It leads to poverty. It leads to terrible outcomes.
You ever go to Europe and see like kids are allowed to drink wine in Italy,
Sure.
and so they don't. There's like there are instances of alcoholism, and it's not a big deal to them. For us, it's a big deal. Like I remember the first time I got drunk with my friends, we were listening to Led Zeppelin. My friend Jimmy, and it was like fucking, we were like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, and I got sick in a cab, like the whole thing. Like but it was getting alcohol was crazy.
Yeah.
If you live in Europe, it's normal. Adults, we know that even with adults that have reasonable ways of approaching every other aspect of their life, some of them can't have a drink.
That's right.
They can't do it. They get fucking gerbil eyes and they're gone. You know those guys.
Yes, of course.
Those are real people too. And what do we do about that? And it's a good question. That's crazy. And that was the prohibition. That was the thing that was going on in America. They didn't stop people from drinking whiskey, but they stopped them from drinking good whiskey. They were making moonshine and that was what NASCAR was created for.
Yeah.
They were trying to run away from cops.
Those boys out, yeah.
They developed hot rod cars to run away from cops. And they said, we should race these. That's literally how NASCAR started.
If you have a regime that is really strict on drug use, you don't have much drug use. I mean, I'm talking about like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
if you're cutting people's hands off, and that would never fly here, and I don't think it's a good idea.
It's definitely not.
But this idea that like you can't culturally and societally lower the levels of drug, there's just this idea. The drug legalization lobby has very successfully argued that basically you can't manage the amount of drug use in a society. You just have to manage the consequences, and that is demonstrably untrue. Here's another, drinking and driving used to be pretty societally acceptable. Now it's not acceptable. I mean, people still sometimes do it, but levels are way down.
Have you ever go from when they first started telling people you can't have an open beer in your car?
No.
See if you can find that video, Jamie. I think it's from the 1970s.
And driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
Laws where you can't drink when you want to.
Baby!
Yeah.
You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be calling this country.
That guy, I didn't even like his accent. I underdid it.
Yes.
He was over the top.
Yeah, but the baby next to the lady.
The baby right there. That's how they used to carry babies around.
Yeah.
Just put them in there.